One, I don't really have a fucking cold open this weekend, but I don't really care. Because it was kind of uh oh, this is like the first time all season where we have not done excuse me, back to back recaps of games. So this is going to be like, I don't know. I feel like I'm in no man's land right now.
Yeah, it's very
Um,
weird not having two matches to recap or having like a midweek match in either domestic Champions League or just a Premier League match. So having just one to watch this week and then like do notes on and talk about is going to feel very strange for us for sure.
yeah, I kind of feel like it's going to go too fast
I
or
know.
something. Well, anyways,
That's a nice shirt that you were wearing tonight, by the way.
yeah, you too. It's kind of weird
Hey,
how that worked out, right?
this was not planned, folks. If you're listening,
It
we're
was
both wearing
literally
the same top and the same kit, and there was no planning that happened. We just happened to log into the StreamYard, and both are wearing the same kit. So for your
he didn't even realize it. I just started right. He just started laughing. I just started laughing. He's like, "What?" I was like, "Are you fucking serious?" And I was like, I swear to God, 20 minutes before you click that button, I said, "There. What are the chances he puts on the same shirt?" Here the fuck we are. Welcome to the Side Boys.
You are now tuned into the Snobby Boy Podcast.
All right, everybody, welcome to the Snobby Boy Podcast. I'm your host, Colby. That's my homeboy, Joe. Man. So, we've got lots to talk about this week, even though it's just one match. Even though we just said it might feel like it go a little bit slow, but here's what we're going to be talking about this week. First off, we're going to be recapping Wolves. But we're also going to be talking about we lost some friends this week, guys. Lost to the game, but it seems that they may be going on to other endeavors. But we'll be talking about that a little bit later. So shout out to our boys, Bit of Banter. That's who. That's about. We'll talk about that later. Just how a podcast game can sometimes, and I'm not sure it's the case for them, but sometimes this game can be a little too much, especially when you have crazy schedules and shit. But I digress. We're also going to be mentioning our duo of FWA winners, Bunny and Phil. Also going to talk a little bit about the rankings this week, of the voting for some of the positions. Joe, foreshadowing the league double.
Yeah, we are in pole position in the league and to pull a double for the women and the men's, and then Bunny and Phil pulling home the double with the Football Writers Association award. So it seemed like there's a little foreshadowing. And then the Man City ladies, unfortunately today, dropped points and allowed Arsenal to come back with two very late goals to take that. And now still in our hands. However, if Chelsea win the next two games in hand that they have and put up a big number in both, if they can turn that goal differential around, I think it's 7 right now.
Right.
They're back in pole position. So unfortunately, we have one match left to play. So hopefully the double is still on for the league, for the women and the men. The men are in good shape. But it was really awesome to see that dues drop, that Bunny won, and our star boy Phil took home the Writers Award too. So that was awesome to see this week.
Yes, sir. We're gonna wrap that out with just how ice cold is Erling Haaland, and then also Mr. Beanbag Roy Keane had some more choice words after Erling's 4-goal event. So we'll be getting into that, but Joe, give us a summary of the Wolves match.
Yeah, Man City came away with a comfortable 5-1 home win versus Wolves. Haaland netted 4 yesterday, 2 of those being PKs in the first half. which was his 6th City hat trick. Alvarez came on for him later on in the match. Erling wasn't too thrilled by being taken off, but them's be
I don't
the
think I would
breaks
have been either.
sometimes. Yeah. And he buries a late chance to finish off the match. For the Wolves, Hee-Chan got on the score sheet. City dominated in shots, possession, run of play, and we were able to extend our unbeaten run in the Premier League to 20 games and move back to just 1 point behind Arsenal with a game in hand. So we are right where we need to be, win that game in hand, and the title is still in our possession. So that's big. Colby,
Yeah.
overall thoughts and feelings on the game. How did you feel after watching the match yesterday?
Well, one of the first things that I think I noticed with this match is our passing was so much cleaner, so much crisper, so much just everybody was able to be where they were supposed to be and get it there at the right time. There wasn't no fuckery or tomfoolery. It was crisp, clean, clinical. This is the City that I wanted to see all season. As far as the way the first half go, I mean, I don't think you could have asked for a better first half. I really just don't. And the one thing that I want to kind of lay some foreground for, in the way that I was looking at this match, because I was talking to a few of my buddies across the pond, and we all kind of agreed. Even that morning, it was like, I don't know, man. Like, is this the trap game? Do we drop points here? We're at home. We seemingly have a better side. I mean, obviously the table would say so. But anything can happen on any given day. So was this the game that was going to happen? Because I really don't. I think with Tottenham coming up, we're going to be a lot more headstrong, especially going into their house. Especially with the record that we've had over the last few seasons of not being able to walk out of Tottenham with a win. We started a new trend last season, but we've got to keep that moving. I think this is a good setup for that game in total. But one of the things that shocked me for this game was Kova getting the start. What was your thoughts on that?
Yeah, he seems to value Kova in that starting role now, especially pairing him with Rodri in those holding spots. I think we kind of touched on this a little bit last show, where Kova, with the positions he takes up, he allows Rodri a lot more freedom to roam a bit. And this season, especially, Rodri has proven that he has more skill than just breaking up passes and distributing balls. He has the ability to score goals and to contribute to that offensive threat and build-up play. And Kova, when he's sitting back there, and then we also have our two center backs and our back four back there, that means Rodri doesn't have to worry so much about snuffing out any counterattacks because he has extra cover. So I think Pep really is seeing the benefits of giving Rodri a little bit more freedom to pick his moments to go forward, because Kova is smart enough. He's a very intelligent player that when he sees Rodri going forward, he can stay back a little bit and help connect play. Mm-hmm. So I really like what we've seen from Kovacic with Rodri in that holding midfielder role. I think that frees up our players a bit more and creates a little more solidarity. And Kova's been so good with link up play and building that control in the midfield that we need. So I've very much enjoyed watching him stand out.
Well, as our predicted this week, and I didn't put it on to the yard this week to show everybody, but if you saw it on our Instagram, you can go check it out there if you haven't, whatever, at SnobbyPod, by the way. We actually did not have Kova in this starting lineup. I believe we had Grealish, Foden, Kevin De Bruyne, and was it Doku on the
Bernie.
right?
We had Bernie
Bernie on the
there.
right. Yeah, with Bernie on the right. Okay. Um, I think in our thinking of putting together this predicted 11 was that we wanted as much firepower up front as possible. The cylinders that have been working the best, if you will, throughout the season. Kova, the reason why I said it was a surprise to see Kova to get the start is because of that thinking alone. Really, I don't think that that was a bad choice whatsoever. I just want to throw that out on the table. It was not a bad choice whatsoever. What he brings to our team is a solid veteran leadership. He understands how Pep moves. He's been watching how Pep moves for most of his career, if not his whole career. Now he has the chance to learn underneath of him and be able to implement what he's learned from the other side. So, and then bringing that in, being a veteran, I mean, he's been pro baller for how long now? He was with Real Madrid, then he was with Chelsea, now he's with us. So he's been around the block for a while. He understands it, and I really think that that's something that we really still do need. Kevin is our most veteran, right up in the center. But having Kova, like you were saying, able to not only play forward, but even play back, and play alongside Rodri and not have him have as much of the weight on him is proving to be awesome for us.
Yeah.
How that will translate in the next couple of seasons, this is where I still think that he's a bit of a patchwork person. He's only there for a short time. Who's the veteran? Who's the guy that you bring up to Kova's level in our squad right now?
There's not a good answer to that one right now with what we have. I think. Can you not hear me?
Oh, it might be mine.
I hear you great. Bear with us, friends.
Are we doing this again? We're doing this again. I think somebody's fucking with us.
I'm thinking. Our lads over at Hollywood have said that Poe is growing on them too. Any better? Can you hear me through your ears?
Dude, you know what? Apple. Oh, something just happened.
How's that now?
Nope. Apple is getting a fucking letter from me because this is the fucking second time they've done this to us. God bless America. All right, Brett, what did Kipak say to us again? I'm sorry. He's grown on him. Can I get that?
Anything?
Right. Back in there. Back in business.
Yeah, thanks for letting us know. I could hear myself through Colby's mic, so we're just taking a second to get that squared away.
Thanks for that. No, it's either JBL or fucking Apple is getting a goblet. Oh, they're saying Joe is.
Yeah, because they could hear me talk and then it repeat myself through yours.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we're back.
Bear with us with the technical difficulties there.
Yeah, Kova's definitely grown on me too. And like I was saying there, he was still a patchwork. He still is a patchwork player for us. He is a stopgap between who is to come next. Who do you think in our squad now is the person that could be more his type role in our side?
I don't have a good answer for you on that one because I don't think there's a midfielder that we have currently that can play that pivot next to Rodri. The closest person that we would have would be John, and they still like to have him as like that center back who's playing up.
Yeah.
I think he could play it just like Kova is just fine, but when we've had him there, it's typically been when Ruben's been in, and we've had almost like a back three going on.
Yeah.
So I don't think we have a like-for-like replacement for him currently in the first team roster. So have to go find somebody, which is why I think we've been linked so heavily with so many different midfielders.
Well, so yeah, we've been linked with Florian Wirtz. I keep Jamal, Musiala.
Yep.
Musiala.
Paqueta. Guimaraes. I have a hard time saying
Guimaraes. Yeah. That's another one that's been linked in.
He would make the most sense to like play that more holding role next to Rodri. So,
Will, is this you talking? Give us a sign. No, I mean, so he actually, Kitmax put up for an answer to that question, Foden or Nunez. I don't see Foden dropping back at all. Nunez, yeah. Nunez, yeah. I can.
He can do that for sure.
But the way that dude, people need to not slouch on Nunez's speed. I'm just saying. Take extra notice. Take extra notice the way he does, where he's off ball play, and when he's on the ball, he's a speed demon, and it's crazy because people don't really look at him like that because he's kind of tall. He kind of reminds me of. And cancel me if I'm wrong. He kind of reminds me of like Spanish Sean Bradley from Space Jam. You know what I'm saying?
That's just the way that 7'6" monster, but he's all legs and arms for sure.
Exactly. Like,
I'm with you.
Yeah, dude.
Yes, I understand right where you're coming from, bro.
But dude, he's so fast, and he can break down the box if he wants. It's just a matter of finding him or giving him the space to do it. But when the space is there, he's made great use of it every time. Joe.
Yes.
What were the main things you were looking for in this match to accomplish? Especially with these last four matches being finals.
I wanted to see us score. I know that's fairly simple, but these kind of games in the past, we come away with like a 1-0, 2-0. It's been tight the whole game. I was hoping we were going to come out fast and have a really strong first half to put it to bed, and that's exactly what happened. We were able to get 3 in the first half, 2 of which were from PKs, both of which clear PKs, in my opinion. There was no debating. There's no pundits at halftime saying the first one shouldn't have been a PK. They were both valid calls. There's no greasing the wheels of the referees or anything like that. Clear PKs for us. Haaland does what he does. He buries them.
Yep.
And that's the second one, the cross from Rodri where he just rose up above the defender and headed that back across goal. The still pictures of that are so incredible to look at.
It's like you posted one of them, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. His knees are like above, I think it might have been Semeto's like head. So he's like almost totally above. It was incredible to look at. So
why
I was
is
hoping
nobody roasting some tomatoes?
Right?
Absolutely. I love roasted tomatoes. What about you?
They are delicious. So I was definitely looking for a fast start, and we got that. I was really hoping Erling would I didn't expect 4, but I was hoping he would get 1 or 2 to get some confidence built up back again. Going into the home stretch, we need him firing at all cylinders. And then the other thing I was really looking for was just body language. I wanted to see that our guys were up for the challenge and up for the match. And you could tell from the get-go, like you mentioned earlier about the crispness of the passing and off-ball movement. Yeah. You could tell that they were on it and ready to go. And that just tells me that they are going to do exactly what we've seen in the past, is go through the stretch run and take care of business because they've done it before. They've been here. They know what it takes, and they are hungry to bring home another Premier League title. So main things I was looking for was quick start and then just scoping out all the guys' body language, and I loved what I saw.
Yeah. And to your point, we this is the first time all season where we have had a full week of practice.
Yes, that is so clutch.
And I just want to I want to elaborate a little bit on that. Like you saw it in what I was talking about, the crispness of the passing, understanding where the position changes were, understanding where everybody was supposed to be. I mean, when you saw the passing through the midfield in this match, it was kind of like a wide range tiki-taka. And I was so excited. It felt like Pep ball was really back. The way that we were so fluidly moving things up through the center, being able to use the wings. You know, this is the first time where the low block has not been the first thing that breaks us down, which leaves us scoreless to the half.
Yeah. Yep.
So,
I have a question for you. I'm my turn to ask one.
It's my turn. It's my turn.
Sound like my daughter's arguing about who gets to pick the next song or TV show. To kind of go along with the guys' body language.
Yeah.
What did you make of the atmosphere at the Etihad? Because I heard the commentators a few times mention how quiet it had been, and some, that whole discussion popped up again. So I was curious to see what you felt when you were watching the game and seeing and hearing the home crowd.
I'm just gonna say this. I'm gonna keep it very simple. That way I don't get fucking wrecked. I had to untype a few things that I was saying to a specific guy that we know that is a regular at the game, which included several times, y'all are quiet as shit. Yes, these are very important matches. These are super important matches, all of them. They're all finals, every single one of them, because we need every single point, right? I understand that Wolves is a sub-mid-table team, but there's no excuses at this point for it to be that quiet. It's just not. It's the end of the season. We have a lot to play for, in terms of points and winning this league and then going into a final against our arch nemesis. I expect more. City. I expect more. Especially being over there, because if that was me over there, if that was me in the South stand, I'd have been screaming at everybody. At absolutely everybody. That it could have been better. That's all I'll say. It could have been better.
Yeah, they definitely pick and choose times to get loud and boisterous. I think one of us might have made this comparison at some point when we had this topic on the show earlier, but it's almost like in American football, when the offense is out there, you don't want to make noise so the quarterback can hear everything.
I kind of got that vibe, honestly.
That's like the vibe I get because we have the ball so much. We're always sitting at 65 to 70% possession, and it's almost like we're letting our guys, our quarterbacks out there, pass the ball around so they can hear Pep directing them. They can hear each other, and then choose our moments. But it's tough because I feel like you do want to hear more noise, more chanting, more songs, all that kind of stuff. but it sometimes I guess it can be mesmerizing just sitting there watching the product.
Right, the ball work.
Yeah,
yeah.
Because sometimes you're just watching the ball. It's like seeing what some of them do. I put that at. This is a good time for that note. The guy, some of the touches that I watched our guys put on yesterday was absolutely sublime. It is incredible the level of skill that we have on the pitch at like every position. It's crazy to see how good those guys are and how many match winners we have in the side. Even though Haalands scored 4, there.
Right.
If you look across, there's guys who can win you games on it. So it's like,
yes.
I get it.
Literally from the attack to the defense, we have people that can kick your ass.
Yes. And are all so damn skilled. So it can be like mesmerizing at times watching what you're seeing. So you would like a little bit more of a loud atmosphere at times, I guess. But I understand the pensions that we have, whatever that word is. I can't talk today. It's been a long weekend.
Paying penance?
The pension. I don't even know what the word is anymore. I can hear it in my head, but I can't get it out of my mouth. I understand the
semantic satiation.
There we go. We'll go with that. I understand the mesmerized by the ball idea. So
I can understand that perspective too. And I think it's all a bit of personal preference, really. Penchant. Thank you, Kipex. Thank you, Kipex.
Thank you so much. I couldn't get it out of my mouth, man.
Thank you. Shit, what was I saying?
You understood that to
I understand. Yeah, I understand the perspective to a degree. I think it's all based on mentality. For me, when I go to a sporting event, I'm loud. There's nothing else that's going on except for that game. And if I don't see other people up in it, I begin to worry. I'm also the guy that goes to the bar and chants at what other people chant, for nothing, or say anything about. So there's that. No, it's oh god, it's Alex. Alex is in here.
Yeah, English teacher on duty.
He gave himself away. Hide behind the veil.
I'm glad he was on duty to help me out.
Right.
That
Thank
was
you.
difficult at the time for me.
Thank you, Alex. We're going to talk a little bit about their episode a little bit later here today. I forgot to put that in the notes. They had a special guest, and I would like to let everybody know my feelings on that because it made me feel a special type of way. And I mean that, special. But I digress. We're going back to what we were talking about. The perspective of it, I get. When you're in your end and you're going for goal, and I guess seeing it at work is I'm babbling a little bit, but maybe I'm trying to formulate this without having to ever express or continually express that I'm from Pittsburgh. But the only way that I can measure this in my head is back when Ben Roethlisberger played for us. When you're at the game, there you would hear the entire crowd, unless it was the late people. The entire crowd would get quiet because they literally had on the billboard "Ben at work, be quiet." So I get the mentality of that, but all in the same, I feel like in this sport, you hear somebody cheering you on, especially your people in your house. How does that not electrify the ever living fuck out of you? You know what I'm saying? So that's why that's why I get so upset. Not upset, but why aren't you doing more in the stands? I mean, make these players feel as special as they are.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
One of the questions that I have for you this week, because maybe it's just me, you should thank us for Justin Fields. I'm not thanking you for shit yet. He ain't done a goddamn thing. One of the things that I haven't seen a bunch on this week is Ruben Diaz. he was not in the lineup again this week. Is that concerning? Is there something that we're not seeing?
So I know about a week or two ago, he and Phil both came down with an illness. So
The ick.
the ick, whatever the ick was. So I think that's definitely plays a part in it. But I think at this stage, with so few matches left, Pep tends to ride the hot hands with what's working, especially in the back. We saw that last year with the Champions League final when Kyle didn't get a chance to start. He came on and played and finished the game out, but he went with Akanji over Kyle because he was more informed. And right now, that back four of Walker, Akanji, Ake, and Gavardiol have played extremely well together. And you can see some continuity happening. So I don't think he wanted to upset the apple cart, even with as good as Ruben has been in the past for us. Maybe not consistent this season, but I think Pep sees this back four is working well together, and we're gonna ride with that group since there's only 4 matches total now.
Yeah.
So I think he's.
I cannot believe,
dude, I know 4. That's all we have left.
I can't believe it's fucking into the season. This sucks.
Flip side of that coin, that's even closer to me and you getting to go see City twice this summer.
Facts.
That's the silver lining there.
There's the silver lining there. And I don't know, man. Like, I think having gotten into the sport and looking back at the ones that, I mean, American football, there's 17 weeks. That's 3 months. Really. September, October, November, December, January. Okay, 5. 4.5.
With 2 buys in there, so
right, with buys and then like if your team makes the playoffs, like I'm so used to the season being over now that I have this long season. Like I don't know, I just don't want it to ever end. And I mean, thank God for the years that I don't remember what I was gonna say because I just read Kipax's thing. I need to put the comments away. I need to put the comments away. I'm so used to basically having 6 months of no sports. I mean, because I watch hockey. It's hard to watch hockey when you live in the DC area and you're a Pens fan. You don't understand that. It's very hard because you have so many. There are a lot of Caps fans that are very similar to United fans. And I'm just going to leave that one there.
We do have 2 good questions in the comments section from 2 new additions to the comments section. We wanted.
Oh, shit.
One of which is my homie, Mr. Ryan Stewart. That's one of my besties.
Oh, okay. So, what's up, Ryan? Thanks for tuning in, man. I'll look where you are.
He's also a blue.
Hey, let's go.
Oh,
let's go. Hold on, I'll give you something. Since we have a new blue in the room, what are we gonna do? We're gonna do a little. How about we do this? Without a love of my own. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate that.
His question was, if West Ham ends up being a must-win for the league, does anything change at all with the FA final, or is a week enough to do whatever we want, i.e. the lineup and play style, I think. So
re-ask the question.
The FA Cup is a week after the final match day of the Premier League. So I think that week off in between is plenty of time for Pep to put all his eggs in that, especially if it is a must-win. If we get down to the wire and Arsenal has done their business and we also have, and it comes down to needing a win to secure it, I think Pep goes full bore, best lineup available, and then we'll deal with the FA Cup because we won't have anything else left to play for. And he does, like we mentioned, we have that week in between to fine tune anything and to get people ready to go for the following Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, you can certainly expect probably with that West Ham match, there to be a little bit of nefarious play, if you will, with us walking into an FA Cup final. I'm sure they'll try to take down at least a player. I'm sure Calvin Phillips, if he's in there, he'll be doing his damnedest to try to wreck something, because I'm sure we all know that he's not going to be with us after this season.
I think he got hurt, and they're debating on if he's going to come back to City to recover or if he's going to stay.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So
that's right. That's right. We ain't got work now because Lucas McQuarrie still wants to come to us, as far as we know. So I'm sure he's not going to be wanting to pick any bones. Let's see. Where are we at?
We have another new addition to the comment section.
It's Will.
Yeah.
What's up, Will? Royal Labs TV. You're going to have to explain to me what that is later, bud. What's up, fellas? How about the damn refs help Arsenal with that weak-ass VAR call against Bournemouth? Not going to lie to you, bro. Nope, didn't see that one.
Arsenal was going to win that game regardless. However, the PK call that got them started was extremely soft. It was their keeper came out kind of like a slide challenge, and I might have been Declan Rice or Odegaard. They definitely just trailed their feet.
Declan overpriced.
Exactly. Trademark that shit.
Right.
And he just trailed his feet and initiated the contact with the keeper's foot. And exaggerated the call. There was very minimal contact, all created by the Arsenal player. So, yeah, more garbage refereeing, and VAR upheld it, I believe. And I don't think it would have impacted the final score, but that definitely helps Arsenal out for sure.
Well,
so I'm with you, Will.
When is it going to be enough with VAR? When is it going to be? We know we're fucking up. We're going to do better. What is the receipt for accountability coming?
That's a great question, because we see these instances every week where a call is either overturned, not overturned, just
non-call.
It's just bad overall. And this was supposed to come in and help everyone rectify that, but clearly more training, more education on the referee side needs to happen, so we understand the process more and can have a better and honestly, accountability is what it's going to take. They need to start holding the referees truly accountable for when they make boo-boos and make mistakes, because the current system has been the current system. We saw Anthony Taylor got reprimanded, got sent down for one match into the championship, and then immediately came back and was given the City, I think, Liverpool game, the biggest match of the weekend. So it's like there's no accountability for the referees to truly get this stuff right, because there's no punishment, there's no consequences for when they do poorly. That was posted at the time of your Sean Bradley comparison to Nunez.
I was like, what are you saying wrong to again? What the fuck did I do?
Alex does not agree with that assessment.
I mean, someone's bound to say that that's pretty fair. I mean, can we? How this is a project. How do we get some of the players for Halloween this year to dress up like the Monstars and make sure that Nunez is Sean Bradley's character? Canceled. We can hey, listen, we'll give Sergio Gomez Muggsy Bogues' spot. How's that work? Are we still canceled?
FA Cup man in full effect.
Shit.
Colby, so you touched on earlier in the show Tottenham, the away trip to Tottenham being, potential stumbling block because we've not done well going there. with their current run of form, because I think they've lost 4 straight and have not looked good while doing it, and they have a lot of injuries. Is that still our biggest stumbling block with the remaining Premier League games with Fulham and then home to West Ham?
Well, I think specifically with Tottenham, I think we've gotten hung up on the fact that we've not had a good record in their house. And what's wily about this one is that it's on a fucking random Tuesday.
Yep.
So, right? Like, and honestly, that's the last little bit there where we get a congested schedule because they literally, I think it's Fulham right into Tottenham, right?
Yep. And then right into the weekend
right.
finale.
And then, exactly. So I find it funny how that all builds up. As far as the way they're, Spurs will turn into 2009 Barca. There's that potential. But the only thing that really ever kills us with them, I mean, now that Harry Kane's gone, is Heung-min Son. That's really all they've had against us. That's ever made the difference. As long as we can keep him at bay, if he's, you know what I mean? Like, if we can keep him at bay, I think with the amount of injury they've got, this could be a walk away. However, you know, somebody could slip on something and twist, and it could change the whole fucking outcome of the game. I don't know.
That's why they play the games, right? So we find out and see.
Yeah.
They've been poor, but like they've not been great. They did put up a bit of a fight against Arsenal. Ryan mentioned that they came back a bit. They went down 3-0 and then worked their way back into the match. But what Alex said is so true. When they play us, they tend to turn that shit up, and Son turns into a different player, and he's gonna. So that one still, I think, is definitely the one to watch for sure. Being on like you said, on a Tuesday too, like that's after an early match against Fulham on Saturday morning. That's early for us, but midday for them. But it's an earlier kickoff for them over across the pond. So and that one is at Craven Cottage. So that's 2 away trips in a row.
And especially Craven Cottage because I want people to understand this, that when you go into a very intimate setting, and this is actually, I'm kind of echoing something that Big Steve said on Kipax today. Mm-hmm. When you go into a small stadium like that, small intimate stadium, the crowd can overturn you. Because you got to remember how much we're reduced to compared to a normal setting or normal stadium of 50 or 60,000 people where you're expecting 9 or 10 of your own. We're talking about 300 to 500 people in a crowd of 8,000. So that's another one that there's potential that we can drop very easily. Mm-hmm. It just depends on the day. I mean, we'll sit here and talk great about our team all the time, especially when we're in full health. But all the same, like, we have it in us to drop. And I don't want to sound like a pessimist, but I mean, you have to look at things in all different perspectives. Just the in case. One of the things that I wanted to say too and talk about is, okay, so we conceded 1 goal to Wolves, right? How many times this season have we given up stupid fucking goals? This being one of them.
This was definitely a preventable one, for sure.
This was an extremely preventable goal. Can you elaborate on that for me?
Yeah, we didn't close down the cross. That was problem number 1. Eddie misjudged the flight of the ball, so all he could do was get a palm on it. And when he did that, the ball went right into the path of Huang, I think is the other name that he goes by, which is just
He-Chan.
Yeah. right into his path, and because we didn't track back enough, kind of like the problem that we've had has been switching off, and we switched off there, and we didn't track back to provide Kyle help. He only had, I think he had 2 guys back there that he was responsible for at the time, and he slotted home perfectly. So it was a great finish by him, and just kind of a lackadaisical defending on our part, kind of all the way across the board. So that thankfully today it did not hurt us. But he said Ederson went for the cover photo on the tabloids, and it
facts,
accurate.
Absolute facts.
So yeah, preventable didn't hurt us today, but like you mentioned, this is cropped up numerous times for us, and it's one of those where you're like, man, I hope that type of thing doesn't happen in the next 3 matches for the Premier League anyway, where it costs us dropping 2 points. Because if we at this point, if we draw a game, Arsenal's got the superior goal differential, and I don't see us pulling that back at this point. So
don't never say never, because they were talking about this during the match. The fact that we came up 5 goals and just we literally closed down that goal differential by half. They could not score over the next couple, and we score a couple more than we expected, if you will, and turn this whole thing back around, and the title race be more so in our hands than theirs. Because that's literally the only thing that's separating us right now is goal differential. Yep. We have the game in hand on Liverpool. They're not. They're stuck in third. They're there, cemented. Yeah. So right after that goal, though, fucking Mr. Ice Cold, Mr. Ice fucking Cold said no. Ours. Slams another one in.
That was a nice build-up, too. That was a goal that started with Eddie with a long ball to Phil's feet, who carried it and then played a big ball into space for Haaland to get onto, and then he just did a quick chop onto his left foot and just smoked it into the far corner. So that keeper to your attacking mid to your striker, those are the 3 touches that it took to get to goal. In a very quick way. So that was fantastic to watch.
Yeah.
Very special goal.
Another thing we said from last week that I'll elaborate on again, and I'm really loving that Pep's doing this, is the amount of subs that he's using. I wish that this could have been implemented a little bit earlier in the season with as much as we have, but I also understand the same because we've had a lot of injuries. If we are in full health next season for a long spell, whether it be in the beginning or the end of the season, I really think and hope that Pep does this more, because the fact that we even have 5 subs compared to the 3 that we've had, that leaves so many possibilities to change a game entirely. So yeah, I was really happy to see all the subs that we had on. There was a triple sub at that one point, Doug Grealish Nunez for Bernie Foden Kevin. And that changed literally everything. And then right after that, Jules fucking buries the game.
Puts it away.
Yeah. One of the hot takes
in his 100th match too.
It is, 100th appearance with City.
That shit went by fast.
Very fast. Well, I mean, okay. So let's think about this. This is something we'll touch on a little bit more as we get into talking about Haaland. Haaland has scored 88 goals in 2 seasons with City versus the 86 goals he scored with Dortmund previously. That's a lot of fucking goals. That's 44. That's averaging 44 goals a year.
And with us, that's one less season than with what he had with Dortmund.
Right.
I think that was over 3 years, right? With Dortment.
Yeah.
Damn.
2 seasons and 3 seasons. Wild, right? So hot take this week. As you know, I mean, it's part of the business. You always look out at who your constituents are. I regularly watch the Manchester Derby 2.0. I think it's a very interesting dynamic, especially being husband and wife and having one side or the other of Manchester. I don't know how the fuck they do it. I'd kill him if I'm her. Because you know my story. I hate United. I hate United that much. But hot take that she had this week. So her and hubby did a comparison of, well, not comparison, but a best of, worst of kind of deal for each of their respective squads. Well, on one of the categories, it was most underwhelming player of the year. She chose Jules, surprisingly. It made me feel a lot of different things because I think that maybe a bit of the goldfish brain set in there. I think that you forget that Jules had quite a season up until Haaland came back. I mean, he was a stopgap for whenever Erling was out every time. He had an absolutely fantastic season up until about, I'd say, mid-March. He kind of lost form, but that was also because, and I'll stick by this, he ran out of steam. He played a lot of football. Dude, he completed football. He completed football and went on and continued to hold the team together.
Sure did. He's almost at 10 goals and 10 assists. He's got 10 goals and 9 assists this year. Last year, 9 goals, no assists in the Premier League. So it's hard to get to double digits in goals and assists, and he's almost to that point at his stage of the season. And that, as somebody who, with the team that's around him, like, that's very difficult to get those kind of numbers when you're playing with the likes of Foden and De Bruyne and Haaland. So
yeah,
for me, not underwhelming at all, considering he had 0 assists last year and he's got 9 now, and he's upped his goal tally. So when you've got almost 20 goal contributions in the Premier League, for me, that's not underwhelming. That's great. And he got all
big facts. Big facts.
Oh yeah. So I wouldn't been my choice, but you know.
All right. So if, being that we're standing here, sitting in this pool right now, who would you say has been the most underwhelming player for City this year?
It's somebody that I greatly admire and had a man crush on his first 2 seasons with us, but I mentioned his name earlier and we've talked about him, and that's, I think, Ruben.
Interesting take, but I have to agree with you.
I think Ruben, because of the inconsistency level, and some of it might have been personal related with what was going on with him and his personal life, which affected him. But I mean, he set the bar so incredibly high for himself when he came in and he won the Premier League Player of the Year, and has just set a very high standard for himself. And this season, it's just been like a wave. So for me, I think I'd have to go with Ruben, and that's me also saying how much I love him, and he's one of my favorite City players. So yeah, but I think I'd have to go Rubes. How about you?
Yeah, this is gonna hurt some feelings.
Uh-oh.
It's not for nothing. It's not saying that when he's had his opportunities, he's not contributed. That's not where I'm getting after when I say this person's name. I simply attribute that to the fact that he has the potential of being a midfield type player, but then still also able to play as a fullback. Nope. Nope. Not him. I'm going to go Rico Lewis. Because I know that he's a City Academy product. I know the potential and the upside of him. I know what he's looked like when paired up next to Roger, essentially. I know that he's able to break things down in the wing. I know that he can be an integral part, not an integral part. I want to say that. That's probably putting it a little too high. But, like, he definitely could be significant in so many different roles. And he's not getting as much time. But I also understand it because you also have Kyle Walker. You have John Stones filling those positions that he's typically playing. If I'm going to choose somebody, it's going to be him. Do I want to see more out of him in the next season? Yes, I do. Do I think he was underutilized this season? Maybe a little bit. But if we're going to say underwhelmed, a player that is, there's not one player on this fucking team that really underwhelms me. Ruben might be the biggest disappointment this season because of his inconsistent play. And yeah. That's my answer. We know
Alex said that's Pep's choice, not Rico's.
I'm very aware of that. You also have competition, veteran competition ahead of you. That's just that's the nature of the beast, just the way shit rolls. You know, you're not going to walk onto a freshman as a freshman on a varsity team and expect to be fucking batting cleanup. It's just never going to happen. You have to be like a freshman that's like 6'3", 210, jacked out of their mind, and is railing 460-foot home runs in a high school park. I mean, that's just that. Unless you're that, you're not getting that. So I get it. I want to attribute our win to two things. I think we all live in a world of superstition when it comes to this sport or any sport in some form or fashion. My superstition is the kit that I wear that day. It also has to match my underwear.
Love it.
Right? Just weird things you do. And I've been doing that ever since I was a kid. So I woke up yesterday and I decided I wanted to wear last year's away Jack Grealish. I feel like I need to support players that aren't in the side that day. Wait, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. Yes, he was. No, he wasn't.
Came on as a sub. He was not in the starting 11.
That's right. So I'm sitting there and I put it on, right? You know how sometimes you put something on and just don't, even though you know what it fits like, it just doesn't fit right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it wasn't fitting right. So I was talking to our buddy John across the pond. And I told him, I was, dude, I think I have to have a costume change. Because me and him were talking about, this might be the one that we blow. It'll probably just be a 1-0 loss, but this is the one that we blow.
Mm-hmm.
I think I got to change my costume. This isn't, and I don't like doing that. I'm very against the costume change. I'm typically commit to it, right? No, I now, because of this win, I now have to wear my 87 shirt on match day for the rest of the season because of John Owen. And he said that I have to do that. So I'm going to hold that. Starting next week, that is the only shirt you will see me in until the end of the season.
I love it.
Love it.
Gotta roll with what's working, right?
Right.
I'm here for it.
Well, let's see. What else do we got, dude? What else is here? What else we doing here? What else we doing here?
I guess to put a bow on the match part, on the recap. Yeah. Clearly, when you score 4 goals, you're going to be the man of the match. So, obviously, Haaland is our man of the match. But who else in the side stood out to you that played extremely well, that caught your eye?
I mean, this was such a good collective team effort. Everybody was on par, on the same page. What felt like the first time in a long time. I feel like there may be a small haze that's hung over us ever since winning the treble. I think now that we're out of Champions League, that dust has settled at this point, if you will. I really can't lament one person as somebody who stood out the most comparatively to Haaland, because suffice it to say, Haaland is the one that we want scoring our goals. So him having a massive day, especially after the comments that have been made by a certain beanbag, I I couldn't give somebody a shot. Phil Foden. I mean,
Can never go wrong there.
He just this year, and I think a lot of people can say this year. I'm not going to call it his breakout year, but I'm certainly going to call it a highlight year for his career. He has shown so many times why he deserves to wear the badge. And every game that goes by, I become more and more proud of him. Like on a brotherly level, you know what I'm saying? Like I just see the way he's progressed over the last 4 years is it's all. I hate saying this. That sounds weird because it's almost like watching my own kid. You know, you see these big steps and these strides that they're taking in their career and how important he's become to our system. So, I mean, I would probably say that he would be the guy that for this match that I would have looked at. Who do you think?
To sound like a broken record with this defender and our guy Tone over across the pond as well loves him some Rolls Royce defending of Yoshko. I love seeing how high he was getting and the width that he was providing on that left side.
Oh yeah.
And just being a part of the attack, the man crush is shifting from Ruben to Yoshko for sure, because that dude is just so special. And at 21, just the skill and the awareness and being able to adapt to a very difficult system to learn, especially when he's not. He's also learning pretty much a new position. He's also playing left back. He got that swag. Turn my swag on.
I knew what we bought when we got him this year. I'm gonna let you finish what you're saying. I just want to throw that in there.
Oh yeah, just coming into a new side, new country, new position in a very complicated and complex system, being able to pick it up and be so dynamic, and so good, both attacking and defending. I love watching him play. So I would say he stood out to me outside of the Nordic Meat Shield.
Well, and just to topple on that, like he just over the last six matches he's been in, you game by game, you see him get better and better and better, and see the potential that he has in our side. Like I said when I kind of cut you off there, like I knew what we bought when we got him. Mm-hmm. This is for me kind of an expectation. And I don't like putting such high expectations, especially on a first-year player. But what I saw out of him at RB Leipzig, I knew when we knocked him out that year, before he came to us, when we bought him, what we were getting. And we got a Rolls Royce. We got a fucking Phantom, and it's loaded. And yes, we haven't even hit all of the amenities within this vehicle.
Fact.
So his ability to be able to not only work as a wingback, but then also to work centrally, not only as a defensive part, but an attacking piece. Dude, I'm glad we got rid of Cancelo. I'm so glad we got rid of Cancelo.
Mm-hmm.
If this is what it allowed, sign me up for another.
Yep. I want to pull this up.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. I wanted to pull that one up because I did and had the exact same thing happen with the Phil Foden that I bought. It was the navy blue when Puma did like the Man City across the thing in blue. Stop. Sorry, y'all, if you're hearing noise, it's my dog jumping on me.
BB, chill out.
Right. And I bought, and I was like, oh, dope. This is 50% off. I can splurge a little bit and I can get all the patches and I can get the authentic joint. And then I got here in an extra large and I put that on. I was like, whoop, super snug.
Bro.
Can't fit that joint. So I passed that down to my oldest daughter Jordan, and she wears it now. That's an extra large. She normally wears a medium, and that fits her just fine as
Fine,
because
right.
of the authentic slim fit. So I did the exact same thing, bro.
Dude, I got last season. So I have that black and red away shirt. I have it's Jack twice. Like I got one for Christmas. The one I got for Christmas was authentic. And bless Megan's heart. She didn't know. And it got sent here. And I got it, and I opened up the box and I said, "This is authentic." And she goes, "Yeah, what's wrong with that? I thought that was a good one."
It is a good
Bro,
one, but
it is the great. It's really great quality, but like, does it come with a bottle of Vaseline to get it on?
that's a good question.
That is a good question. Favorite kit you own? If we're on that, well,
Kits.
my '87 kit, honestly, to have my birth
The new
year
one.
is, yeah,
Mhm.
to have my birth year is just like, yeah. But as far as I mean, ones that have players on it, and stuff, I don't know, man. I think the favorite. I've only been collecting shirts for 4 years, so it's kind of like,
I have an answer ready to go.
probably the one I'm wearing.
Yeah. Yep.
Probably the one I'm wearing.
It's got Haaland
Yeah.
on the back. It's got the Premier League
Yep.
champion badge. Mine, although my recent ones have like the Champions League badge for being like champs and the holders of the trophy, and then my recent Kevin one has the badge in the middle for the FIFA Championship.
Club World Cup.
My black Hacienda with Sergio Aguero
Bro.
on the back that's if anytime I need a kit, that's my favorite kit. That's my favorite. I have Sergio on the back. That's it. That's it for me.
If I could find that one, either him or David Silva in that one, I'd be happy.
Yep.
Oh man.
Is it time
So-
to talk about our clown show of a pundit that's been running his mouth about Haaland?
Mr. Beanbag himself,
The beanbag.
the Keane Beanbag. Yeah, let's talk about that fucking twat fart. So he had a few choice words, Joe. Go ahead and tell the audience what he had to say if you haven't heard already. This just for context, this was after Erling Haaland scored 4 goals.
Yeah, he decided that was the time to bring up the fact that when Haaland was brought off, not too happy, behaving like a spoiled brat, but because they won the game and he scores goals, it's almost forgotten about. So the man just dropped 4 goals, is not thrilled with coming off, which you kind of totally understand. You kind of want your players to be upset when they're coming off, especially when they've scored 4 and there's an opportunity to set a record.
Right.
But we're going to choose to bang on the kid again because you just recently called him a League 2 player, and you will want to use your time on Sky Sports to throw shade at a kid again because of your fucking beef with his father.
Right. Well, I think this is a great opportunity to point something out, that he has a son. Out of the 5 children that he does have a son who went on to play, who currently plays for Everton. How much do you hear about him?
Crickets is the answer because you don't really hear about him, do you?
Because you don't.
You don't.
Excuse me?
Like, nobody. So is this really because your kid couldn't move past the center back role, and isn't what you wanted him to be, and you're jealous that your arch rival, whom you basically almost ended a fucking career, you're mad that his kid's performing? How fucking petty are you? Grow up. Zero ball sack, having ass, twat fart, fucking piece of shit. Roy Keane, if you can ever hear this, make sure you heard that part. You got something to say about it? Let's scrap it out, bro, because I would with you. Between you and Carragher, oh my god, I would love to have boxing matches against you both.
You have a grudge against someone your own age, and you're taking it out on his kid. That tells you all you need to know about the kind of person this dude is. That is so incredibly petty and childish. Grow the fuck up and move on.
Literally,
in your life, bro.
Nothing says I have a little dick like that.
Bam.
Roy Kent is more relevant, truly. I am Roy Kent.
Whistle. Fucking.
All right. Yeah, dude. I just, the gumption, the gumption. Some of these people fucking have to say anything. I'm sorry, Michael Keane is a fucking nobody in the Premier League. Nobody gives a shit about him. You play at a fuck-ass club that just got fucking point deductions. They're lucky they didn't get fucking relegated. The only reason they're probably staying up is because of some fucking stupid loophole. They're that fucking bad. I just... Go do one.
Mm-hmm.
Go do one. Fucking God. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's right.
All right, so we're close to the end of the show. Comment section's been open. It's been live tonight. We appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for the newcomers that have come in tonight, specifically Ryan Stewart. Also, shout out to the Kitbacks boys for coming on. I do want to end this with their episode, though. If you don't know, they had on Big Brother for all of us here in the podcast community, specifically with City, Big Steve. I spent literally my kid's entire match listening to this, so I'm glad that I did. I'm glad that I did, because there was something that was brought up, and Alex did it in a very, very nice way, about the flack that we catch over here as Americans. The one thing that he said repeatedly, Big Steve said repeatedly, is don't listen to the dickheads that are online. And that settled something in my soul. Something that I didn't think would be able to get satisfied, because too often I see the rhetoric of dumb American, stupid American, you guys don't know what the fuck you're talking about, you don't know sports, blah, blah, blah. Well, I find it funny that we're the ones sitting here on a mic and a screen talking about it, and you're not, and you're in the comment section. So, I want to say a massive thank you to Big Steve for kind of helping knock that wall down, not just for me, but for all of us over here in the American City podcast community, because there's quite a few of us. And I don't really think, for the most part, we look at each other as competition. I think there may be a couple. I mean, but everybody has the right to think what they want to think. We certainly don't think that it is a competition around here. Not because we're the low man on the totem pole, but because we all believe in the same thing, and we all stand under the same colors, and we all wear the same badge. So that made me feel awesome. Absolutely awesome. It felt like Captain Planet telling me the power is ours. Right? That's kind of how I felt too. Like I felt like Gandalf gave me a special power today, and was like, these fucking dudes can't fuck with you. These dickheads, these bellends that get on there and talk absolute nonsense, bullshit, and tell you that you don't know what you're talking about. I kind of do, or else I wouldn't be here. And I love doing it. And I don't care about the scrutiny anymore. So thank you, Big Steve. Thank you to the Kitbacks for bringing them on and kind of helping burst that open for me, and I hope for literally everybody else.
Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to listening. Once we're done on here and wrapping up, and I get a little food in my belly, I'm gonna turn that on and give that a gander, because I want to feel what you guys felt, and I'm super excited for you guys to have had Big Steve on. That's a huge get and a huge guest to have, and the fact that you guys had the same feeling like that, that's magic right there. You love to see that. It's a good day, man. It's a good day.
Big Steve embodies what every City fan should be: inclusive, fair. Speak facts. Speak all the facts. That man does not miss when it comes to facts. I love listening to everything he says because it's everything that I feel right here every single time. He just expresses it in the best way. So, shout out to you guys. Awesome. Yes. Can't wait for Ohio. Yes. So, we're coming close to the end of the season. That means preseason's going to be here, right? City's going to be in the U.S. Not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4 different times. We're going to get to 2 of them. We're going to be meeting up with the Hollywood Kid Pack for the first time in Columbus. Cannot wait for that. God, it's going to be a rager. I feel like there might be a few debaucherous things that might happen with you guys. I don't know. I feel like, we're too polarizing people, and you put 2 polarizations in one place, and all the electric happens.
It's going to be great.
No, it's going to be a fucking good time. Cannot wait to hang out with you guys. Let's talk a little bit about the rolling out the red carpet. So we did it last week for Pat Weitzel, didn't we? We had a great time. We had a great time with him. We want to do that for any and all fans. Listen, if you want to get on here, you think you got the balls, and I say that with the utmost respect. If you think you got the balls to get on a mic, and a screen and talk game with us, please send your inquiries into snobbyboyspodcast@gmail.com or hit us in the DMs on Instagram or X. We are welcome to all comers, whether I don't care if you're brand new to the game or if you're a learned doctor. Okay? We welcome all comers. We would love to have you on. We're typically going to be trying to do that at least once a month. We will be bringing other podcasts members on very soon. We will be getting with you guys with the details on that probably in the next couple of weeks, just as we lock down those specific dates. I'll stick with the keyboard warrior gimmick. Thank you.
Pussy.
You muted yourself. How did you do that? Come back to us.
I touched the cord on my mic.
How dare you?
How dare me? So yeah, go ahead and get your inquiries. Guys, make sure that you follow us on all of our social medias @SnobbyPod. Make sure that you follow us here on YouTube. Subscribe. Make sure that you hit the like. Make sure you hit the bell for notifications. It helps us. And also, guys, listen, we're in a day and age where the like is great. We appreciate it. We'll never say that we don't. But sharing content does more. If you believe in what we do here and other podcasts or anybody that's doing something of the sort, whether it's merchandise, blah, 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 share their shit. It costs you nothing but a click of a button. If you love us, if you love the people in the city community and you want to give them your utmost support, share their stuff. It's the best way to do it. Yeah, I think that's it. I think we're done.
I think we did it. I think we did it.
We fucking did it. In spite of technical difficulties, and yeah. Thank you, all of you, all 20 of you that have been in here. Thank you for taking time out on your Sunday night to hang out with us. Everybody in the comments section, thank you again for coming in, talking with us. Appreciate you all. We will see you next week to recap Fulham, and then do a little bit of a preview for our match at Tottenham. And we'll have some announcements for you guys next week, so be sure to stay tuned. And that's it. Until next week, I'm going to leave you with...